Hi guys, it's Erin. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about Chapter 1 and some of the really big pieces of Chapter 1 that I think are really important. So I'm going to reference some exhibits, graphs, charts out of the book, and also some definitions just so we get started in the right space. I don't know if I've said this before, but I love teaching this class. And one of the reasons I love teaching it and every time I teach it is because strategy is everywhere all the time, no matter what you do in a company, in your personal life, in your professional life, whatever it happens to be. Because if we look at the definition, and it begins on page 10, I believe, where it talks about strategic management. Excuse me, nope, that's not right. Sorry, page 8. And it says strategic management is about the analysis, decisions, and action an organization takes in order to create and sustain a competitive advantage. That's the really key piece here, because a lot of companies will do a ton of research and they will go ask customers for feedback and potential customers and suppliers and buyers and all these different people, and then they may create that advantage initially, but then within a year or two they could have 40 companies that could have the same advantage that they do, and now it's not sustainable anymore. So you really need to think about strong companies or weak companies that show either a very strong advantage, like today, the one that people almost always think of is Apple. Right? Apple has not always been in the position of being a leader. They have not been in a position of having a great strategy, but they have over time. So if we look at that, we think about what kind of analysis have they done? Think about talking about the iPad, right? The iPad is just a hybrid of a smartphone and a laptop computer. And so Steve Jobs, when he was very sick, he was actually piloting that iPad, or so it's been told, in a hospital, because people didn't know that they needed an iPad. They would not say, if they asked him, or if he asked a customer, what do you want? And they would have said, I want an iPad. They wouldn't have said that. Well, they said, well, sometimes my cell phone is too small to see things, and sometimes my laptop is just too big and I can't take it everywhere with me. So they did a smaller version of it, right? So that's kind of analysis that he did. The decisions of what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, how we're going to play the game, how we're going to do strategy, okay, and then actually implementing that strategy, talking about leadership, organizational design, things like that. Because you can talk all the time about strategy. The hardest part is to implement it and to get results out of it, and to have it so that is a long-term strategy and then sustainable over time, and you're making money from it, right? You're making profit. So that's the first thing. So that is on page 8 of your book. The other one I wanted to talk about is a chart here. I'm going to try to flip. I don't think it's going to work. This chapter, or this chart here on page 13, that really goes into how the book is put together. That's very important as well to understand that. And also, I definitely wanted to look at, again, and I'm going to do a separate video on, just to try to make these kind of short in nature, is the Exhibit 1.2 on the top of page 12. So I'm going to do a separate video on that and talk about it, because it's a very important concept that's used all the time in corporations. All right, thanks.